Hello there and welcome to today's video, in which I'm going to be showing you how I made my interpretation of Greg Davies and little Alex Horne, of course from Taskmaster. So let's go see how I made them. So I'm going to start my piece by making my interpretation of Greg Davies, and I have to say he was quite the challenge to get in terms of likeness. I don't know why, he's got such an interesting face, hasn't he? But for whatever reason, he's quite the difficult one to make, really. But anyway, here I am building up his face, and I'm using Fimo Professional Doll Arts clay. I really like their clays for flesh tones, actually. They're really nice to mix as well, so I'd certainly recommend those. And I'll just add his eyes like so. So I'm going to leave Greg, and now I'm going to work on Alex. And I found him a lot easier actually in terms of likenesses. I thought I'd go for quite a surprised look for Alex, as opposed to Greg's kind of wry look, really. So I really like Taskmaster, and I've given some thought actually as to who my favourite contestants have been, and I really liked Paul Chowdhury from, I think he was in season 2. I've just found him hilarious actually, and it's a shame he's kind of not more well known in the kind of mainstream world, really, because he's really funny. And I also really loved Daisy May Cooper from one of the more recent series. You know, who doesn't love Daisy? She's just so bloody funny. And her scene with Richard Herring where they're eating watermelon, oh my god, if you've not seen it, you should Google it, because it's just the funniest but strangest thing you'll probably ever see. It's just, it's quite surreal, really. So at this point, I just thought I'd mention that I couldn't quite get Alex's likeness, and I couldn't understand why. So what I did was to leave the project for a day or two, and I came back to it and I thought, this guy's got really big ears, and I hadn't noticed before. It's really interesting when you're doing likenesses, or when you're trying to achieve likenesses, that sometimes it just won't come to you straight away. You'll look at somebody's features and you think, why isn't this working? But I think sometimes you just need to rest your eyes, really. So at this point, I'm just doing a test on his facial hair, just to see if I'm headed in the right direction, really, before, I do too much work on his face. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. And now I'm going to add them to a nice bright red background, because, that's Taskmaster's colour, isn't it? Red and gold. And I'll just start adding the clothes like so. And another contestant who I really loved was Fern Brady. She's just so funny, and it's really nice to see that she's getting more and more recognition, actually. I have bought her book, but I'm yet to read it. I'm such a terrible reader, actually. But yeah, she's just hilarious. I think because I come from a Scots family as well, it's it's a humour that I just find really hilarious. If you're new to my channel, my name's Lizzie, and I'm a polymer clay artist and illustrator, and I've a keen interest in pop culture, as you've probably guessed. And I tend to make weekly videos based on my polymer clay creations and the occasional studio vlog. So if you like what you see, by all means go and hit the subscribe button, and remember to hit that bell for notifications as well. So here I am just adding more and more clothes to my piece. I think potentially my favourite contestant of all is Bridget Christie. Ian and I saw her stand up a few years ago now, and I was kind of instantly taken with her. She's kind of like a feminist comedian, but oh my god, she's just so clever and so brilliant, and I just really loved her dynamic with Greg as well. It was yeah, weirdly kind of flirtatious, yet I don't know, it's really hard to explain really. I think they obviously know each other really well. I think they've been mates for years, but gosh, it was really, really funny. I just love her. I'd kind of watch her in anything actually. And she's just created her own like comedy drama, I'd say, rather than a sitcom, called The Change, you know, about kind of menopause and just her wanting, you know, a bit of recognition and a bit of time for herself in her, I think she's just hit 50 actually, and I just really loved it. I thought it was great. So yeah, it's another recommendation if you've not seen it. That's on Channel 4. So anyway, here I am working on Alex's beard, and at this point I'd baked the piece because I like to work with facial hair once the actual facial structure is hard, because it's just easier to work with really. And you might notice I've changed Greg's hair colour, because although he's grey these days, for whatever reason I just didn't think it was working in grey, so I've changed it to like a sort of well, dirty blonde colour really. And here I'm just working on his stubble, and you know, in a very similar way to Alex's beard, I just add some clay. And I've taken quite a bit of it off really, because I'm going obviously for more stubble here, so I'm just going to start taking that off. So at this point I baked them again, and yeah, here they are all done. I hope you enjoyed that. They were just a delight to make actually, because I really enjoyed the programme Taskmaster, so I've been wanting to make a piece of fan art for so long, particularly within, you know, a gold shabby frame, because it really kind of echoes the thrones that they sit on. So yeah, I've just been delighted to be able to make it at last. In terms of likenesses, however, I think I really nailed Alex, but I kind of could have been happier perhaps with Greg, and I did want to give him some glasses, because in recent series he's of course been wearing glasses, hasn't he? So I did experiment with those, but for whatever reason it made him look less like Greg, so you know, I had to kind of forego those. So I've gone for, let's say, a kind of perhaps earlier version of Taskmaster and his little assistants. Also, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry I haven't been uploading very frequently over recent weeks, but I've been having some issues with some nerve pain as well as some other stuff, so it's just been really difficult to sit at my desk because it kind of causes all sorts of issues. And recently I've been having issues with my, I think they're called the ulnar nerve, which run along your forearms. So yeah, it just causes kind of pins and needles and a bit of pain really. So yeah, I've just not been able to do half as much as I've wanted to really, and as a result this video has taken ages to make. So I think what I'm going to do is just, you know, be a bit sensible and take a few weeks off, really to see if I can kind of rest it out. Really makes me sad because I'm really excited to get to work on some kind of Halloween projects. You know, I wanted to do a few tutorials this year, but hopefully, you know, I can get started on those perhaps in October, so we'll see how I go. But anyway, I'd love to know who your favourite Taskmaster contestants are. There's just so many to choose from, isn't there? Because, you know, there's so many just brilliant people that have taken part in the programme. I also love Morgana and, you know, Bob Mortimer. There's been loads of people that have just been brilliant. So yeah, let me know who your favourites are, and have a great weekend, and I'll see you as soon as I can basically, but hopefully pretty soon. So take care. See you later.